Okay, well, I'm very new to beaver trapping. In fact, I've trapped exactly one beaver in my 2-week career here. But something I enjoy doing, whether I'm trapping or not, is shooting video of wildlife. And a beaver pond's a pretty neat place to do that. And I've got a inexpensive setup, a shoestring setup here that works pretty well for me, and I wanted to share it with you guys. This little camera here is one I ordered off of eBay from China for 50 bucks, and it's got a built-in 32 gig SD card, so it records directly to the camera. It is a Wi-Fi camera, and for another 20 bucks I was able to pick up a high gain antenna that shoots the signal back across the road to a repeater I have mounted on a pole about 20 feet in the air, so I get good signal, and I'm able to get a live feed back into my house a couple hundred yards away. And that fancy piece of material you see right there, the top of a juice bottle, that's a weather housing for a microphone. Hey, I said it's on a shoestring. What powers it is under this plastic right here. You can't really see it. I do that to keep the rain off. But it's a cheap portable jump starter that I got from Harbor Freight. Paid 40 bucks for it. And it'll power this setup for about 36 hours. And I'm using snares, attempting to use snares to trap. Like I said, I trapped just one beaver, and I'll show you that video in a few minutes. But beavers are pretty intelligent, and being able to watch them on camera, I can tell you, they, having never been exposed to snares or traps, they crawled all over these things before I learned how to set them. Paid them no attention whatsoever. But immediately after I caught one, it took a few days before another beaver even came close. But that beaver really checked out that snare set, sniffed it, looked it over with what appeared to be almost intelligence, and then turned around and swam straight away and did not come through the snare. So I may have ruined this pond already. They catch on pretty quickly, but we'll run this for another weekend. I set it out late in the afternoon. I can run it for a Friday night, Saturday, and Saturday night before my battery goes down, and then I can either pull it all in, or I've got two of those, I can swap them out and keep on rolling. But I have my camera set to record non-stop. It records 5-minute segments. It doesn't rely on motion detection. You can set it up to do so, but I found I was missing too much. But I can record probably 40 hours or more of continuous video in 5-minute sections, which would take an eternity to go through and try to find the action. But I've also got it set to take a snapshot every 5 seconds, and those snapshots are sent back to my house and saved on a jump drive that's connected to my router and set up as an FTP. And with that, I'm able to open those pictures and scan through them really fast, almost like a time-lapse video. But any change, any animal walking by or anything becomes really obvious, and then you just look at the timestamp and you can go to that video really fast and save it out. But it's a pretty good shoestring setup if you like doing some wildlife videography, which I do, and combine that with your trapping operations so that you can really see how how the animals are reacting to your sets. I know a lot of the trail camera companies sell cameras that will do similar for a couple of $100. I've got total about $110 tied up in that setup. Something else to keep in mind, these cameras come with the ability to set them up as a peer-to-peer. So if you've got your camera set up someplace that's not very close to your home and you're not worried about sending a live feed back, you can do away with the high gain antenna and use the antenna that comes with it, and set it up as a peer-to-peer, and then you can use your cell phone or your iPad or whatever you have, and when you get within radio range, you can log into your camera, check on the condition of your traps, review stored videos, and you can do all of that without getting your feet wet. All you have to do is be in range, in radio range of the camera, which is, depending on conditions, maybe 100 yards or more. So pretty neat setup for the economy-minded hobbyist and trapper.
Okay, I said I would show you some video from that camera setup. In the background, night sounds you're hearing is actually coming from my other laptop, which is got a live feed coming in right now. This is one of the rare times that I see a beaver in daylight. These guys normally only come out after dark. But this beaver comes up, takes a brief look at the snare, doesn't know what it is, hasn't seen it before. I've got the snare improperly set. He comes straight through it without getting caught. Comes across the run. Here you'll see him stick his head in the lower pond snare, and it's a little bit tight. He backs out. I told you, I'm new to this. I've got a lot to learn. But he blows the set, goes into the lower pond, and he's done. Okay, a few days later, I've got the snare set, upper pond, lower pond. He comes around the lower pond snare set and stops to relax a little while, scratch his belly. Oh yeah, that feels good right there, yeah. When he gets through scratching, starts making his way to the upper pond, he just bowls right over my other snare set. Doesn't really pay it any attention at all, just blows it away. But he's only up there for hour and a half. He comes back to the run, and this time goes straight across the middle and into the lower pond snare, and it's got him. You will see the set stick pull away. There it goes. He's caught. He puts up a bit of a fight, but he's caught. I've got that snare set on about a 10-foot cable. He can move around, but he can't get out. The next morning, about 2 hours later, I dispatched that gentleman. We put him on the grill that weekend. Really tasty. A lot like beef in both taste and texture. Really good. It's a few days before another beaver comes back to the run. And it's almost like they communicate. You see this beaver being very suspicious, looking over the top of the dam, sniffing the set stick, sniffing the snare, where they've ignored that thing entirely up until now. This beaver really checks it out, decides it's unsafe, and swims away. They're really that smart. They're really intelligent creatures.